So what if I told you that being good with money has almost nothing to do with how smart you are and everything to do with how you act? We tend to treat finance like it's this big, scary math problem. But today, we're going to dive into why it's really all about psychology.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You read the books, you follow the experts, you learn all the strategies, and on paper, you've got it all figured out. You feel smart, you're informed, and in theory, every move you make should be perfect.
And yet, something's not quite right. Why is it that even with all that knowledge, we still find ourselves falling into the same old traps, making the exact same mistakes over and over again? Well, there's a really powerful force at play that most of us just completely overlook.
And it's this. The real fight isn't with the stock market or a looming recession or some bad tip you got. Nope, the biggest obstacle you'll ever face is the person staring back at you in the mirror. It's your own mind. And believe me, it's quietly working against you.
Okay, so let's start by exploring some of those hidden mental traps. We're going to pull back the curtain on the internal biases that shape pretty much every single financial decision we make, a lot of the time without us even knowing it. And the very first trap is a huge one. We all think we're being logical. But the reality is, our own personal story with money, whether you grew up poor or rich or you started investing during a massive boom, that creates this incredibly powerful and unique lens. That tiny slice of history becomes your entire worldview on money, even if it completely flies in the face of decades of actual data. And this brings us to the unseen forces of luck and risk. Just take the story of Bill Gates. Yeah, obviously the guy was a genius, but he also had a 1 in a million stroke of pure luck. He went to one of the only high schools in the entire world at the time that had a computer. His friend, Kent Evans, was just as brilliant, but he was hit with a 1 in a million dose of bad luck, risk, when he died in a freak accident before he could even graduate. Same talent, but wildly different outcomes, all dictated by forces completely outside their control. And it all really boils down to this one powerful idea. This quote is such a crucial reminder to just be humble. When things are going great, remember, it wasn't all because of you. And when things go badly, it probably wasn't all your fault either. Luck and risk are always in the room with you. So that internal battle with our own biases, well, that's only half the story. The other half kicks in when we start looking around at what everybody else is doing, and we fall right into the powerful and often destructive trap of social comparison.
This quote basically reveals the central paradox of wealth. I mean, think about it. Spending money to show people you have money is literally the fastest way to have less money. It's so simple, and yet it's a truth we ignore all the time.
We judge other people's wealth by what we can see, right? The nice car, the fancy watch, the big house. But that's not wealth, that's just spending. Real, actual wealth is what you don't see. It's the car not bought, the diamond not worn. It's the unspent money sitting in an account that buys you freedom and options and, maybe most importantly, peace of mind.
And here's a wild little psychological quirk that shows why showing off is so pointless. It's called the man in the car paradox. And it's so true. When you see someone driving a really cool car, you don't think, wow, that guy is so cool. No, you think, wow, if I had that car, people would think I'm so cool. We literally use other people's possessions as a backdrop for our own desires. And this constant chase for more puts us on this really dangerous treadmill, the problem of never enough. The goalposts just keep moving. You get a raise, and suddenly you want an even bigger one. You buy a nice house, and now you're dreaming about an even bigger one. It is a game you cannot win. I mean, even historical figures like Napoleon were totally consumed by it. The only way to actually win is to stop playing and decide for yourself what enough looks like.
So, if figuring out what enough means is the real goal, what's the most powerful tool to get you there? Well, it's not about being the smartest person in the room or picking the hottest stock. No, it's about harnessing a force that's way more powerful and almost always underestimated: time.
If you want to see the raw power of time, just look at Warren Buffett. His net worth is over $150 billion. But get this, the absolutely astounding part is that nearly all of it, a mind-boggling $156 billion, was earned after his 65th birthday. Just let that sink in for a second. How is that even possible? It's all because of compounding, and it's not intuitive at all. It doesn't move in a straight line. It's kind of like planting a tree. For the first few years, even the first decade, it feels like nothing's happening.
But then over 30, 40, 50 years, the growth becomes explosive. It turns into this massive, unshakable force of nature.
Look, Buffett's real secret wasn't that he was a genius stock picker. It was that he was a pretty good investor who simply stayed in the game for an unbelievably long time. He got good, solid returns and just let time do all the heavy lifting. That's how real wealth has built, by surviving long enough for compounding to work its insane magic. All right, so if it's not about having more stuff, and it's not about chasing these huge, flashy returns, then what is the point of it all? What is the real, highest form of wealth? I think the answer might surprise you.
Let's think about this for a second. We all know that successful investing comes with big rewards. But what's the price you have to pay to get in? It's not a dollar amount. You won't see it on any price tag.
That price? It's volatility. It's fear. It's uncertainty. It's that gut-wrenching feeling you get when you see your account balance plummet. But here's the critical mindset shift. That feeling is not a fine for doing something wrong. It's a fee. It's the price of the ticket for getting on the ride to long-term growth. And just like any other ticket, it's worth paying. And what do you get for paying that fee? You get this. You get the single greatest, most valuable thing that money can possibly buy. And it's not a bigger house or a faster car. It's freedom. The freedom to control your own time. And this isn't just some fluffy, feel-good idea. It is one of the most powerful drivers of human happiness. There was a famous study that found a strong sense of controlling your own life is a way more dependable predictor of your well-being than your salary, the size of your house, or even how prestigious your job is. And ultimately, this is the real endgame. This quote just captures it perfectly. True wealth is being able to wake up every single morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. Doing what you want, with who you want, for as long as you want. Which, brings us right back to where we started. The real work of managing your money isn't about chasing more. It's about having the courage to define your own finish line. So the final question I'll leave you with is this: what does enough truly mean to you?